Peace and blessings, everyone. So this is a video response follow-up to the questions I was posted by Ogunjoby to my video which I made for him. So his questions on this time are just a couple. Wait a minute. What if a person refuses the draft? Will love continue to feed this person? All systems are corrupt and going to be corrupt, because my truth isn't your truth, and my level of love is not yours. So let's say there's a council with people who meet your criteria. You stated you're anti-democracy. How we get a chance? How we get a change in leadership? Are they appointed till they die, or will they come up for another can of worms? Okay. If a person refuses to draft, well, what are our options? In truth, what are our options? The purpose of the draft is for what? Is to benefit the advancements of the human race, the advancement of a specific nation or government. So, and actually depending on how widespread it is, we have different options. So let's say that the United States itself is the only nation that adopted this system. Well, what we would have, our options are, and say, well, if you refuse, then you will be deported. We will send you out to the other parts of the world where they may still be practicing the system of capitalism, where they may still be going through democracy, where they will still be using corrupt ways. I mean, you think about it. You're saying no to helping within a system that is seeking its best to benefit, to truly benefit everyone. And for you to deny that, what would be the reasons other than being self-centered and selfish? Now, at the same time, it is important, that we address and making sure that we don't have another corrupt system, because presently someone wouldn't want to be drafted. Talking about today, in the current system, in this current government, no one wants to be drafted because you're being drafted into a war. You're going to be going to war because there's warring going on. You're going to be drafted into a bureaucratic system that is just slow and it's unjust. So there will be people currently today in our current real system that wouldn't want to be drafted. But we're talking about a total overhaul of the government system, where you'll be working for a government that truly cares for you, and that you're going to be doing your part to not only benefit you, and I should say you're going to be benefit you, but everyone else in your family and the world or your nation as a whole. And it's just doing time. It's once again, you're not being drafted to be a soldier to go fight. You're being drafted to do whatever it is that you were doing before you're drafted. Whether you are an artist, I mean, I'm talking about opposites. If you are an artist, you will be drafted to create works and paints that say may go in a museum, or to be an art teacher or whatever. I mean, for every position, for everything, you can be drafted. If you were a singer, you'll be drafted to perform as part of an orchestra or whatever. I mean, for everything, just to do whatever it is that comes natural to you. That's what you'll be drafted for, just to have that position. If you're a philosopher, you'll be drafted to work for the government to philosophize. Is that a word? Philosophize? Philosophize. For everything. Just hold a position. Like I said, for the advancement of every area, to advance and to study and to move forward. And you're benefiting everyone. Then, okay, so if the whole world adopted it and someone refused a draft, what are options? Well, then we could send them to jail. Because once again, we're saying that you're not taking part in the importance of the advancement of the human race. and even jail. And I made a video about jail. So jail, we're not sitting here to give you a hard time and punish you, but we working to say, well, don't you realize it's to rehabilitate? Don't you realize the importance of the advancement of this race, and that don't you understand that the system that we came from previously, and how unjust and how unfair it was, and how we are trying to work to benefit everyone, and you don't want to partake in this. You want to do your part. Well, then you're willing to want to bring back the old system, the old ways, the unjust ways. And so we just try to talk to you and try to get you to understand and see. Maybe it wouldn't take jail. Or it wouldn't take jail, then we could prevent you from getting some benefits, or you get a minimum or something. There's something to motivate you, because once again, this is for the benefit of all. Still gonna love you, but understand this is to provide freedom for everyone. Now you say, well, the freedom to get drafted. Well, it's yes and no. It's freedom. You're being required something, but it is more of a necessity. It's required for the necessity to provide freedom for everyone. It's you being a team player in essence. That is a necessity, or it just might be enough that we could let you pass. I don't know, because once again, if this is adopted worldwide, there'd be so many people that would say, okay, we'll let you pass. We'll let a certain number pass. But that was something that would have to be addressed at a time. But as long as we address it in truth, as long as we address it in belief and in love, then it is something that will be dealt with and addressed with accordingly. But at least it's something that we have to bring forth first, and then address it at that point. Or I'm gonna try to address it right now. But in all systems, we have to willing to try to, adapt and see how we can change and see how we can make it better. And then speaking about systems, you said that all systems are corrupt. I'm not certain how you come to that conclusion. I would say, because we're talking about a system that you don't even that doesn't exist right now. We're talking about a system that you're not familiar with, that hasn't been implemented. So how would you know it would be corrupt? It's basically like people saying that people will always be bad, or that there will always be war. We know that history has dictated the past. History has dictated that there's always been wars. History has dictated, the past has dictated that people are corrupt, but that doesn't mean that it will be so going forward in the future. And that's where belief comes in. You can believe that, and that's what you have to do. You have to believe it. We can look to the past to try to predict what is going to happen in the future, but at the same time, we can look to the past and understand what may happen in the future and what is necessary for us to change so that it doesn't occur in the future. What is the saying? Those who don't know the past are doomed to repeat it. Well, if we know what happens in the past, there's always been wars in the past, corruption. Thing is, what have we truly done to try to change this world from continuing on the same path of wars and corruption? What new ways, such as this, what profound new ways and systems have we tried, and we haven't. We've gone for the system of bartering to capitalism, and we've been in capitalism for however long, and within the system, the suffering has occurred. So, like I said, in 2009, I would think that our intelligence would tell us we must at least try something. Because I'm not saying that my system is foolproof, that it would, succeed. I believe that it will, but that doesn't mean that it's the truth that it will. And I'm willing to accept this. But what I'm saying is we must at least try something new. Try to bring about something that is benefit all people, so that It changes from the current system of we know. Currently, we know what's going to happen. No matter what, we know 10 years from now, we stay in this current system, that there's going to be have-nots. We know that. We know that because the current system has shown that improving, and it dictates that's the way it is. That's the way it is in the current system. We know, but if we change it, then the future isn't foretold as much. We move forward in faith and belief. I don't know if you are one of religion, and or faith, has a specific religion, or just believe in God, and that's why I really try to bring this to people of faith. People who do believe in a God, because you are one. People of faith and belief are one who adopt beliefs and faith. So I'm asking people to believe in better things, and believe in working towards better things, and believe in trying new things to bring about better and greater things. So that's where belief, and everyone can believe, even if you don't believe in a faith, or religion, or God. Everyone can believe in better things. Everyone generally does. Even atheists, believe in greater things, believe in being successful, or going out, creating a job, believe they can be successful, believe they can, achieve certain things. So everybody can adopt a belief. Everybody believes in truth. Even atheists believe in truth. And they'll say basically that they're putting truth above the beliefs of theists. That theists run and they run their whole life off of belief, and they lack in truth. And so everyone can believe in truth. Everyone can believe in belief, and everyone has a belief in love. Now you said that your truth and love are different. True, your truth, your subjective truth, is different than my subjective truth. And I spoken that too in a previous video also, that I see that the truth I speak of seems to differ from everyone else's truth. Even those who say that they are about truth, I say that I am about truth. I tell you that truth is God to me. There's nothing greater than truth. And when I meet other people who say that they're about truth, and we talk and I listen, it appears that our truth is still different. But at the same time, I'm willing to admit that my truth could be, in actuality, incorrect. That another person's truth is a truth. But in saying that, I believe that shows that I am constantly staying in truth, because I am always willing to admit to the truth of things, as far as I'm able to be cognizant of it. There's some things that I'm not, so I could be missing out on, and that's because of my natural, limitations as the human being that I am. My ability to reason and think, and to be cognizant of, my reality. That my truth could be totally different, but I'm trying to get beyond just my own personal truth. I'm trying to get to the absolute truth, which I believe exists within everything. I believe there is an absolute truth to everything that is beyond my knowledge, or it may not be. Maybe this truth that I believe in, I have adopted, it might be the absolute truth, or it may not be. So I hope I was clear in that. And then a love. There too, again, I understand that, love is also a subjective thing. And that's why I always put truth first, because, like I said, I think truth bears out. Truth bears out. Truth above subjective and objective. Subjectivity and objectivity. Now, love is part of my trinity, if you will, because I believe, love is one of the most powerful words for us as beings, that are cognizant, and that think. We use the word love to mean, for one, we use it for this emotion that we have, and that right there, we don't know how it differs. my emotion that I say is love could be totally different than your emotion. So I don't really put value in the emotion of love because we don't know how that differs per each person. There are some people out there who would have said that can't even feel love. There's people who out there who say they have never been in love. Doesn't mean they can't feel it, but they have never been in love. But generally it is held that love means, and I'd rather take the action love. Love means trying to do what's best for someone. When you say love someone, you generally mean you generally try to do what's best for them. You generally trying to help them. You try to take care of them. You try to provide for them. So, understand that, coming together to understand, what the definition of love is, that's what we will move forward on. Trying to do what's best for each person and for the world, and trying to do that. And so on, and I think, what I say, did I move on beyond the corrupt system? Okay, I questioned about, okay, yeah, I did. One thing about the corrupt systems. Well, let's say that it's the truth that all systems are corrupt, then what we are forced to fall back on is, which I spoke on a previous video, that we have to find the best or the worst. So then, if that's true, if all systems are going to be corrupt, then there's probably going to be a level, a hierarchy on which system is less corrupt than the next. So then we would need to at least attempt to find that, wouldn't we? Instead of settling for, just the present corrupt one. Well, let's try to find one that is less corrupt. Let's try to find a better corrupt system. Let's try to find the best corrupt system or the worst. You get what I'm saying? As far as democracy, well, a change in leadership. Ultimately, our leader, our ruler, is truth. As I stated, we will still need a system of government, for laws and rules and to move forward. But ultimately, that's the same thing. The change is by way of draft. All it is bringing somebody in to be a headpiece to keep the system going, because I believe this system, more than the current system, allows. It really allows for a system that the government is run by the governed. That is generally held, in democracy. But if you look at it, what happens is, you have a person who comes up who wants to, represent their constituents, and they get up there and, they get up there and they say the right things. They put that serum in your ear, that honey in your ear, and then they get up there and they don't come through on what they said they were going to do, and they don't have to. And at the same time, as long as they know that as long as they play to the majority, then they can just keep their position. But I think because of the fact that the whole government system would change, it wouldn't be, the corruption wouldn't be there. That wouldn't be necessary. And someone can probably still run for office. And those who want to run, who want to hold a position, we could just do about luck of the draw. Give them some weight of balls or something. Everyone can get their chance. Maybe, it goes down from, a 4-year term for president to a 2-year or whatever. We can still we can still put people in office because people will still want to have that position of so-called authority. I'm sure that would probably exist, for a while. So that's what will take place. Because once again, if you look at a system of democracy, it's especially the current system. It's corrupt. Whether the system of democracy itself is corrupt, I don't know, but it's unfair because you're talking about a system where the majority rules over the minority. And if you look at it currently, it's the minority that is suffering, but it's the majority that is ruling over it. It's the minority. It's the minority that miraculously is ruling over the majority. But why isn't that the majority can get things to change? I don't know, but once again, it is unfair for the majority to rule over the minority, because at any point in time they can make up rules to oppress people. For instance, we have, the right for same-sex marriage. It's the majority saying that the minority, homosexuals are in a minority. Well, you can't do that. You can't do that because that's not natural. So they're dictating ruling, and they are dictating and ruling. They are not doing it through love, and they're not doing it through truth. They're just going off of their own moral system and their beliefs instead of putting truth first and love, or equaling them out. I guess I'll leave it there. I hope I didn't jump around too much. Hope I was clear enough. If not, let me know when I try again. Yeah, once again, if you have any more questions, give them to me, because as I bring this forward, as I offer this system to you, I want the questions, because I want to, in essence, in a way, prove it to myself that this could work. So at the same time, I'm trying to give it to you. I'm trying to hone it. I'm trying to make sure that I look for the kinks. And this is something I think that our so-called leaders should do. If you get in office, for me, okay, say I'm president, say I'm Barack Obama. I feel Barack should be trying to bring to me solutions that have not been brought forward before, and to put them all out on the table, to get with the entire nation, to take suggestions from the entire nation and ask, what could we try to do? What should we do? And then get the people in the know, get the scientists and the statisticians together, and work up plans for each system. So once again, so you have my system. So he would take my system, and he would get the people to crunch the numbers, to see how that'll work, how it might not work, and what could possibly go wrong, what wouldn't go wrong. I don't think currently there isn't enough. Well, we know the change doesn't come quick enough. We know in this bureaucratic system, change is slow. It's gonna come, but it's gonna take forever. We need to change quicker, and we need to be willing to change quicker and seeking to change quicker, and taking on all ideas and concepts and willing to move forward. Once again, for the benefit of everyone. We're trying to make this world just and righteous for all people. If the rest of the world doesn't do it, at least we should do it here within this nation. I'm here in the United States, so I will have to start here with this nation. This is what I want from my so-called leaders, but I don't get that. I get the same. I get no change. I get the same. I'm trying to bring back true change, real change. When Barack was running, you always saw the signs, change we can't believe in. Well, I understand, problem with my system is people can't believe in my change because they don't think it's possible. It's all the doubts because the fact that it is a total change. Whereas when people were saying, when they was supporting Barack and saying change they can believe in, well, they were supporting that quasi change because they can believe in that. All they was really talking about is changing from a Republican to a Democrat, changing from always being whites in the position of president to bringing in a black. But that was a superficial change. That was superficial. It was on the skin color, it's race. It wasn't true change and changing the entire system to get it out, to move away from wars. Once again, he's still fighting. He might be pulling them out of Iraq, but he's putting them in Afghanistan. I don't know where the peace is in that. If I was in, I would pull all the soldiers from overseas. I'm trying to move away. I would try to move totally away from war. I would move to self-defense. So bring everybody home from all our bases overseas. Bring them home. Let's worry about defending our nation, not going out and spreading our nation and saying, hey, we have a right to come over and take over and spread what we believe to everybody. Because, they say that spreading democracy to other nations is going to help, bring, fairness to these nations. But we see what happens to democracy. We've been founded on democracy, and yet we have people who are unjustly treated. We have people who suffer. And so we see that this system isn't foolproof. It isn't fair. And so, it's to me, it amazes me that, that they try to put forth that is so great and then use it and then try to justify it as, that's why, we need to go out there and kill our people because this system is so great and so just, and we got to go out there and kill our people to spread it. Well, if it's that great, then the people should eventually want it for themselves, and stand up for themselves. And we shouldn't be trying to spread it by the end of a gun, the point of a knife. It can't be that just. I can't see you bringing forward a just system in that manner. And actually got me thinking about something else. But I'll stop here because I'm going 30 minutes. All right. God bless. Peace and love.